We've all made embarrassing financial decisions before, but some of these decisions are a lot worse than others. So let's watch some of the most embarrassing financial decisions of this year.
Let me tell y'all this story. This dude called me and my buddy that had some common sense. He knew we talked about money. We're both very good with money. And he says, man, my high school car, it's a Charger, blew up on me. I'd like to get a new car. He said, what do y'all think, man? What are some cars y'all like? And I said, hey, dude, I got a Corolla. I said, it's a fucking animal. I love my Corolla. It's cheap. It's like $300 a month for a brand new one right off the lot. I was like, it gets like 54 miles a gallon. He goes, yeah, but man, I want something cooler. I said, man, they got like some sport options. Maybe you can go like Camry or something. I was like, even Toyota's got like that little GTR car or whatever it is. I forget the name of it. It's like a nice little sports car. It's like 30 grand, 36 grand. He tells me, he goes, yeah, but I've been looking at some other Chargers and stuff. He's like, I go into the dealership every week and each car I like to make sure the payments are good so I have them run my credit. I said, do what? My other buddy is just silent. I can hear the pain on the other side of the phone because I was feeling the pain. I said, please tell me you're lying, dude. He said, nah, man. I said, hey, I want you to get on Credit Karma. He said, what is that? I said, oh my God, it's as bad as I think. I walked him through how to set up Credit Karma. I shit you not, his credit score started with a number I could count on one hand, not using a couple fingers. Yeah.
Yeah, clearly this friend has no idea how credit scores work, and if his score is really that low, he's probably doing a lot of things wrong, not just running his credit every week. Every time you apply for a loan or you have a lender run your credit, that drops your score, but the new credit category, which is hurt when you run your credit, only makes up about like 10% of your score, which will drop your score max 55 points. So this guy's gotta be missing payments or something too, or maybe just a lot of payments? I don't know. He's probably messing up in every single category. I think the most frustrating thing though is that he could watch maybe an 8-minute YouTube video and save himself thousands of dollars just figuring out how your credit score actually works, but he's refusing to. And it sounds like he has smart friends too, so I don't see why he wouldn't have asked them before doing any of this. But that's just me. And when this guy actually does want to get a car, his interest rate's gonna be like 20% or something ridiculous, especially if he's going to places that keep letting him run it over and over. They just want to take advantage of him. I would educate yourself first before buying a car specifically. People buy way too much car than they can afford, especially with a 15-20% interest rate. You don't realize how much money that actually is.
So I'm at the boba shop, right? And right now I have exactly $8.91 to my name. You know, average person would be like, Karen, you don't really need that boba. You know, save your money. You don't know when a rainy day could come. But I'm a firm believer in taking care of yourself, prioritizing me. If that drink is what's going to make me happy for the next day, I'm going to get that drink. Because money always comes back. Like, this is not going to be my last $8, you know? And I might get paid tomorrow. I might get paid the next day. You get, like, it never gave, this is my very last dollar. It never gave that. I'm just going to spend the money. Boba's about $7, so I'm still going to have $1 and some change left. That's enough to put a little tank of gas to get me home. My gas tank is full, so I don't got to worry about that.
Right.
I'm going to be good. Now come on with me.
Yeah, I think you should spend your money, realistically. But if you're broke like her, having $8 in your bank account compared to $1 actually means a lot more, even if it doesn't feel like it. Because let's say one expense processes late or a subscription bill pops up, then you're racking up $34 overdraft fees, and then the hole gets even deeper. Also, inflation is crazy because $7 for a boba, and that's just normal now. No one's batting an eye. Inflation is just ruining everyone, it feels like. It's at 4.2% right now, which is just ridiculous, and wages aren't keeping up with it either, so tough situation.
I won $100,000 after winning America's Next Top Model in 2017, and here is the story of my biggest financial mistake of my life. So after I won the show, they actually gave me a check for $100,000. Boom, baby, I'm rich. And for some reason, my little itty-bitty undeveloped brain thought that meant it was $100,000 post-tax. Like, they obviously already took out the game show tax because I got a check for $100,000. Newsflash, not the case. So anyways, I go and spend the $100,000. I paid $60,000 for an apartment in New York, but I had a roommate paying me back, and then I subleased it and they paid me back. Anyways, it wasn't that horrible of an investment, but obviously not the smartest thing I could have done. And then the rest of the money I spent taking my family on like nice dinners, and I bought one pair of shoes. And anyways, I spent the entire $100,000. I also got a car. Like, yeah, I spent the money, okay? What I should have done was put aside 35 to 40% of the money for taxes so that I'd be ready to pay that. But I didn't do that. I spent it all. And so I spent the next several years paying back the money in taxes to the IRS.
People who receive inheritance, or they win the lottery, or they win a game show, or they even get a tax refund feel like they can just spend all that money because it's not real. Like, they didn't really work for it, so to say, so it hurts a lot less spending that money than spending, let's say, like $20 that you made in an hour doing hard work at your job that you don't really like. And the big issue here is that if you do spend it all, you're not just spending your own money like her, you're also spending the IRS's money. And I think it's like 1/3 of lottery winners declare bankruptcy within like 3 to 5 years, so she's definitely not alone here. That's why if you ever come across a large sum of money, you should always speak to a financial advisor or a tax professional, or better yet, both. And blowing $100,000 isn't even going to really make you happy in the long run, so you might as well just be patient before you decide what to do with it, because $100K can set you up for the rest of your life if you use it correctly.
The worst decision you could ever make in your life is to finance a car. I know what everyone's going to say is that if you can comfortably afford it, then why not finance it? Well, we got different versions of affording. For me, affording a car is being able to buy it out cash. Now, if you think affording a car means that you can finance it, well, then you are sorely mistaken. The car is already a depreciating asset, and then for you to go on and finance that car and tack on some interest to the price of that car, I mean, that is just a financial disaster right there. Be smart, don't finance a car, save your money, buy the car cash.
I think he's got the right idea, but I don't think it's very realistic for the average person. Because for most people nowadays, it's just not possible to pay for a car outright. Because the average new car price is $49K and the median annual income for a single person is $45K. So if you are the average person, you're probably going to have to finance a car. Now, that's not me saying you should be looking at $50K cars on a $45K salary, hell no. And I do get his overly cautious approach to car buying, because that's where the average person actually ruins their finances in the long term, because most people commit to much more car than they can actually afford. And then you see these headlines like $800 average car payments, and you just think, like, who's even letting you sign up for that? I think the best strategy for the average person is to just buy a low cost, low maintenance, used, even if it's ugly like a Toyota or a Honda. Put down as much money as you can and then pay it off in 4 years max, and then just drive it until the wheels fall off. Because it's not just your monthly payment, it's your gas, insurance, fees, maintenance, depreciation, all of that bundled together. So as long as you do finance a car, just save yourself and your wallet and do your thorough research first.
What's cracking? I have negative $247 in my bank account. I'm going on vacation and I'm running errands right now, but I won't allow the negative to stop me. I'm still gonna go fix my nails, drop off my dry cleaning. I have to pick up my passport for my ex, so all of that needs to be done before 12. It's 9:44. Will I get it done? Of course, I picked myself up a coffee.
Of course.
When you're running late, it's mandatory that you also get a coffee. Duh.
Okay, I'm not even upset about the coffee because the coffee's like $5, whatever. But you're not living paycheck to paycheck. You are in the red. And I appreciate how low stress she is, but like, what are we doing? Because if your bank account is in the negatives and your first thought is, oh, I need to get dry cleaning, dang it. Like, what's the thought process there? Wash your own damn clothes. Sometimes I feel like I just don't understand people, because what has to happen in your life to rationalize doing this and then putting it on social media? Those overdraft fees alone are going to ruin her, but I mean, at least she's not putting on a credit card, I guess. So maybe there's some points there. I don't know. But at the same time, I feel like overdraft fees could end up costing more than credit card interest, depending on how much you put on each card. Either way, it's just bad.
This truck was one of the worst financial decisions of my life, and let me tell you why. I bought it a little over a year ago. At the time, I purchased it for around $125,000. I put down around $50,000 and my payment came out to around $1,375 per month. Currently, I still owe around $69,000 on the balance. This truck's current value is probably $80,000 max if I want to go sell it. Let's do some quick math. I put down $50,000. I've been paying $1,375 for a little over a year. That's around $17,000 in payments. So I'm around $67,000 into this truck. Now, like I said, if I go to sell it, if I want to do a quick cash offer from a dealership, I'm gonna get $75,000. If I want to, take my time, sell it on the secondhand market, I'll probably get around $80,000. So I owe $69,000. So I'm gonna get back around 9 to 15K. Let's call it 10K just to be on the conservative side. I'm gonna get back 10K on this truck. Now we get back 10K, let's subtract that from the $67,000 that I've put into this truck. That's $57,000 to own this truck for a little bit over a year.
I think typically like 99% of the time, the nicer or the more luxurious your car is, then the faster it's gonna depreciate. Because you have a $120,000 car, but then over time the tech gets outdated and then the leather is kind of beat up. And I think there's a lot of people that would rather drop 50K on a new car than 50K on a used car, because why buy old when you can buy new instead? So if you ever consider purchasing or financing a car, please check its depreciation schedule first. There's calculators and data for this on every car's depreciation schedule on CarEdge, and you can figure it out in like 3 minutes and save yourself $57,000 like this guy. I understand why people overlook depreciation because it kind of feels fake, like there's no sign on your car that shows you how much money it's losing every time you drive it, but it is real and you only feel it when you want to sell your car.
I need everyone to know this about being in your early 20s. You will meet people that are going to Europe every summer, buying new cars, buying new outfits, going to Coachella. And if you are wondering, how can they afford to be living like this? Like, is something wrong with me that I'm not able to spend like that? Just know they aren't spending like that because they're working harder than you, because they're networking better than you, because they're better connected. They're probably not even generationally wealthy. They are just in massive amounts of credit card debt. How much someone spends and the life that they portray on social media is not necessarily reflective of how much money they are really making. Nothing is wrong with you if you're not able to spend like that. In fact, you are way better off in the long run because you are living within your means instead of going into crazy debt to portray a lifestyle that is far above it.
Yeah, I don't think I could have said it better myself. Also, fun but slightly horrifying fact, around 60% of Coachella ticket buyers use buy now, pay later payments. Yep, and the average credit card debt is $8,000 right now. That's because people aren't taught how to actually manage their money. And I don't want to come across as like, oh, I hate having fun, don't have fun, but have fun within your means. Don't sacrifice yourself tomorrow for yourself today, because no matter what social media tells you, you're probably doing better than you think. I actually did a video proving that you're doing better financially than you think, and you can check that out right here. And if you didn't buy Coachella tickets through Klarna, make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you, my friends, for watching, and I will see you next time.